Everybody, it's Mike Newer, aka What Mike Eats. Welcome to my kitchen. This is where all the nutritional goodness that you see on my Instagram and on my Facebook page goes down. Today I'm going to be making one of my favorite recipes, and I'm sharing with you guys a grass-fed bone broth soup with veggies and grass-fed organic ground beef. Now, bone broth soup is an amazing, loaded with nutrition type of soup. They take it by actually taking the bones and the connective tissue of animals that eat grass. In this case, we're having beef, so it's cow bones, and they boil them, and then that connective tissue actually releases a lot of nutrients, collagen, all kinds of other good stuff into the soup, and it's really beneficial for us as well. Collagen is great for joint health. It's great for your skin. It's also got chondroitin in there, which is in a lot of popular joint supplements as well. Glucosamine, which is another really big, important joint supplement. And collagen is also really good for the lining of your intestines. Helps people that have food allergies, helps rebuild and repair the lining in the intestines. So we're going to get going today. So some of our ingredients are the organic grass-fed bone broth. That's our base. So we're just going to open that guy up, pour it in our pot. Now this is usually in the frozen section of the supermarket, and then you just stick it out when you're ready to defrost it. Next we have grass-fed organic beef. I'm going to put that over here. We're going to cook that separately in a frying pan. You can cook it together, but I find that it cooks a little bit quicker in the frying pan, and it's easier to get that food in my belly quicker. So that's what we're going to do today. Next, we're going to be throwing in some broccoli, some celery, some carrots, onion, and then at the end we're going to chop up, put an avocado on there, and to season it I'm going to be using two of my favorites, cayenne pepper, which is really good for your metabolism, so also gives it a nice spicy kick, and a little bit of garlic salt. So first things first, you got to wash the veggies and your hands. I've already done so, and next we're going to be chopping it up. So the broccoli you just break apart and just drop that right in the soup. The broccoli takes a while to cook, so we want to get that in there first. We want to put it towards like a medium-high heat. Get all that broccoli in there. Okay. Next, carrots are the next slowest cookers, so we're just going to chop them up. A little bit for me. Alright, let's get them in there too. Next we're going to chop up the celery. I always cut the ends off first and get rid of them on both sides because they got a little bit of brown stuff on there. And just throw that in next. And then I'm going to use about half of this onion. Best way to cut an onion I found is chop off one end, chop off the other end, peel that outer layer off. Cut it in half. Save half for tomorrow's omelet. And then cut it in half one more time. Throw that in there. Now, depending on how big of a batch you want to make and how much veggies you want to throw in there, you may need to use 1.5 things of the bone broth, or you can add a little bit of water in. So I'm going to add just about half a cup of water. I use reverse osmosis filtered water. I have a tank underneath my sink that I use because the tap water in Florida is a little shady. They put fluoride and all kinds of other weird stuff in there. So get that cooking nice and good. Now I'm going to add the cayenne pepper after. You can add it right now, but my dog also likes bone broth soup, and cayenne pepper is not good for his little French bulldog stomach. So I add it on top of my bowl, and then his bowl, I just let him lap up the juice because it's really good for dogs too. Alright, next we're going to go and get the beef going. So for the beef, I like to use Kerrygold grass-fed butter. I like that a little bit better than olive oil for cooking with, or you can also use coconut oil. That's another good option. Let those start going. I'm going to cook up this whole thing of ground beef, and then I'm going to add the beef into the soup once the soup's already in my bowl, and just put as much beef as I want. This way, the leftover soup, I'll just leave it in the pot and then just add the beef as necessary, or I could use the beef in the morning for my omelet as well with those extra onions. So throw the beef in here. All right. Now, it's important after handling raw meat to wash your hands, because you don't want to be spreading nasty germs like E. coli, because they'll give you diarrhea. You don't want that. Okay, all right, hands are washed. Now we got our soup spoon. Start stirring the soup around. Now another thing you can add to the soup if you want, I'm on a little bit more of a lower carb diet. I don't do a whole lot of carbs unless it's right after my workout, and I only did cardio today, so no weight training. I don't really get too many carbs today. So I'm not adding any potatoes, but had this been a day when I had done a little bit more of an intense workout, I would add some of these little purple potatoes, or you could chop up a sweet potato into little pieces and throw them into the soup as well. Now the potatoes take a little bit longer to cook, so you will want to throw them in first before the broccoli, give them a little bit of a head start. Alright, the butter's starting to melt with the beef. We'll wash our spatula off. Alright. Now one trick, if you are impatient like me, to make the beef or whatever you're making cook quicker, put a cover on it. That's going to trap the heat and make it cook just a little bit quicker. So we're going to let that sit for a couple minutes and check back in a minute. Alright, so our beef is looking good. That's pretty much done, so we'll put that down to a simmer and wait for the soup to catch up. Now while we're waiting on the soup to finish out, it's time to cut the avocado. Now I've seen a lot of things on Facebook and pictures of avocado injuries, and I have no idea how it's happened. I've been cutting avocados for, I don't know, 10 years now, and I've never once cut myself on an avocado. Let's hope it doesn't happen today. Knock on wood, because it'd be pretty embarrassing. So, cutting the avocado, you want to cut it long ways. If you get a sharp enough knife, you don't really need to saw it. You just kind of roll the avocado around the knife like that. Give it a little twist. Boom. Now, sometimes, you know, if you go to like a Mexican restaurant, they're trying to make guacamole in front of you. Fancy, they're going to chop it and try to stick it into the seed and pull it out. That could be a little bit dangerous. Also, I've seen people go like this and try to stab the seed, miss the seed, go through their hand, end up at the emergency room. Don't want to do that either, because by the time you get back, your soup's going to be cold. So just take it, put it on the side like that, and boom, out, no problem. So then you take the avocado, put the knife in, slice it ever so gently, You don't want to push it hard enough to even break the skin of the avocado, just to cut through that nice soft fruit. And then I give it a cut that way as well. The avocados add a nice creaminess to the soup. Another thing you can add to the soup that I like to do from time to time once it's done is to sprinkle a little bit of goat cheese on top, or whatever cheese of your choice. I do goat cheese because dairy really messes with my stomach. I find goat cheese to be a little bit more tolerable. Don't do it on the regular, but from time to time, you know, I like some goat cheese. So then, take a spoon, push the avocado like that, kind of loosen it up a little bit, stick the spoon in the side, underneath, and boom, comes out nice and easy. Same thing on the other half. And that fell on the floor, so that we're not going to eat. And then, boom, got your avocado. Now let's check back in with the soup. Soup is looking good. Almost done. Okay, and then we got the beef over here. Usually when the broccoli starts to soften, that means that it's getting just about ready. So we'll give that another maybe minute, 2 minutes or so, and then we should be feasting. Okay, so the beef is done now. So we're going to take half of the beef, because this is a pound. I got a pound of grass-fed beef. So I want to eat half a pound. Average serving size for somebody is about 4 ounces, 6 ounces, but you know, I'm a big dude, so I'm going to have 8. So I'm going to take about half of this, put it into a glass container to save for later. I don't like to use plastic. It's got a lot of chemicals like BPAs and things like that that mess up your hormones, and it's just safer to use glass. A little bit more expensive, but can't put a price on your health. Put that in the fridge for later. Here comes Cashew. He heard the beef is done. I'd like to say hi to Mr. Frenchie. He's going to be enjoying some of this too. Makes him big and strong. Look how big, strong boy that is. Okay, you get some later, buddy. It's got to cool down for you. All right. Now, soup is done as well, so we are going to use our soup ladle. Fill the bowl about halfway up. Try to make sure you get a lot of broth in there too. You don't want to just have a bowl full of veggies. Alright. Then we're going to take our grass-fed beef. Put it on top. Now you can choose to chop up the beef in the frying pan when it's cooking as fine as you like. For a soup, I prefer to leave it a little bit chunkier, so it's like you taste like, you know, you're biting into the beef a little bit, and it's not just kind of all grated up. And then we garnish with a little bit of avocado. I really like avocado, so I'm going to use the whole thing. And then, as you can see, we have a delicious grass-fed beef bone broth soup. Numerous health benefits, very healthy, and tastes absolutely delicious. Now, if you like this recipe, I have great news for you. I just finished the What Mike Eats cookbook. So send me a message either on my Instagram, on my Facebook page, What Mike Eats, or if you're watching this on YouTube, just leave me a comment on the YouTube. I'll send you a link to buy it. The link will be up at whatmikeeats.com very shortly. I'm working on getting that site finished up over the next few days. So keep an eye out for the What Mike Eats cookbook, 101 recipes, all What Mike Eats approved, all gluten-free, soy-free, 30 minutes done start to finish, and high protein. So hope you enjoyed this, and time to eat.